Hi, I'm Christopher Landon, and you're watching Cult Classics.
Someone wants me to kill my date, or my son dies. It's someone in the restaurant.
You might want to get back to your table.
Hey, it's your pal Victor from Cult Classics, and we're here with director Christopher Landon, and we're at the New Orleans premiere at Overlook of his new movie, Drop. Now, here's my question. My first question for you is, a lot of your movies have sort of been like these genre mashups in a way, and this looks like it's different. Can you tell us what attracted you to this idea and a little bit of the genesis?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it was that I felt like I had done the horror comedy thing, and it's not to say that I don't love it. I still love it, but I felt like I was ready for a challenge, and I was ready to do something a little bit different and flex some different muscles. But also in a weird way, it was a return for me because a long time ago, too many years, I wrote a movie called Disturbia, which was very much a Hitchcockian, modern, whatever kind of movie, and so this kind of feels like a weird bookend to that movie. So it was nice to do what I would call a straightforward thriller, but still has a lot of the like hallmarks, I think, of what I do. So there's a lot of humor. It is intense. It is violent and scary, but I'm not blending tones the way I usually do.
Okay, awesome. We're excited to check that out. Now, this movie is sort of a one location sort of thing from what we've seen in the trailers, and I've heard that the set for this movie is really unique. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we built a 12,000 square foot restaurant, and it was elevated. It was on risers, so it was about 20 feet off the ground, I think maybe more. But it was like a fully operational restaurant, and it had to operate that way. So, we had real food, we had a full cast of people that were sort of moving in and out of the space. People were eating, people were drinking, the bar was fully stocked. So we created an actual restaurant, which was pretty cool. And we had a chef who created a menu with real food. So that part was really fun.
Awesome. That's amazing. We're so excited to check it out. Thanks for talking to us, and check out Drop in theaters, debuting here at the Overlook Film Festival, and check out Cult Classics. Yeah, I had a question. We've seen a lot of movies where text messages pop up, sort of like an iPhone, and here the way you did the texting was really interesting. Was that something you came up with, or something you talked with the script writers about? How would the text be menacing her in that way?
Yeah, I knew going into it that, generally speaking, text messages are boring, and trying to show that, and inserts of phones are awful. And so I knew I wanted it to feel more like an actual conversation. I was trying to almost weirdly I had to build a character out of the visual aspect of those text messages. And so I knew I had a general idea of how I wanted them to look. What I had to do going into this, though, was every shot where I used the text, we had already predetermined how it would look on screen, and that's why we have the appropriate negative space, and how it would move and interact with characters. Sometimes you see, like, there's a moment, obviously, where Henry walks through one of them. And so there was a lot of thought that went into that before we ever started filming.
Did you do a lot of previs to kind of figure out what you wanted it to look like?
No, I kind of worked with some people. I described what I had in my head, and then we had 3 different versions. But they were all relatively close to what I had described.
Yeah.
So it didn't take long to kind of land on what I felt was right.
That's great. It's like its own character. It's so good.
Drop, only in theaters Friday.